Welcome back to my channel. The Injectable Decorator is one of the most frequently used decorators in Angular. It's required to create a service in Angular. It's a good practice to put reusable or domain-specific logic inside a service and keep components responsible only for the view or connected services to the UI. Let's take a look at what the Injectable Decorator is and how to use its configurations. My name is Maksym Hrom, and this channel is about web development. For this lesson, I will use both a module-based app and a standalone component-based app. The main app will use the latest standalone components, and I will show the difference in the second application. As of today, most Angular applications are still module-based, but eventually they all should migrate to the standalone approach. Let's create a new service first. I'm going to use Angular schematic for this. To generate service, I will use command ng-generate service, and I'm going to put result in the service folder, services. And what's about naming convention? First service will be called foo, second will be called bar, then buzz, and so on. To confirm that new instance is created in Angular application, I will add a console log in the constructor. Angular uses a system of decorators to mark class as specific instance, like component, pipe, or service in our case. I strongly recommend that you jump into the interface and read the TypeScript documentation every time you want to Google for some information. Angular is well-documented framework. Sometimes you don't need to Google anything. Everything you need in the Angular documentation. Button and clicking on interface Injectable. From this documentation, we learn that Injectable Decorator supports providedIn property. And this property is optional. Also, it can be null, any, platform, root, or type $1. By default, it would be null or undefined because it's optional. Let me remind you the previous lesson UML diagram. You might remember that the service must be provided before it can be injected, this section. That is where the providedIn property helps. It defines how and where the service is provided. Let's check one by one. Type any is deprecated. Please never use it. To be honest, I have never used it in real projects. Any property is also deprecated, so never use it too. What the rest two configurations means. It's like root and platform. In Angular, you can think of a project as a platform where several applications are hosted. So if you have two or more applications rendered on the same page, providedIn platform will create one shared instance across all applications. I have never worked on such a project, so I haven't used that configuration yet. Maybe in the future video, I will create a mock application to explore its benefits. As a result, we are interested in root and null property only. The root option is the most commonly used, and it's the recommended way to provide services at the application level. What does root level mean? It refers to the main application level. When using provide root, Angular automatically provides the service in AppConfig or AppModule, depending on type and application. I will show it in this video. Let's come back to foo service. And let's keep providing root configuration for it. And I would like to have a title property. At this point, we have a service that will only be included in the JavaScript bundle when it's used. If we don't use it, don't import it, Angular won't add it to the bundle. It has a name, it's a tree shaking. This is helpful when developing libraries. or when we have multiple applications and only some of them need the service. Let's verify this. You will see there is no full service in the main JavaScript. I have two applications opened, this one for the modules, this one for standalone. To check what inside main.js, we need network tab. Reload the page. I can filter the main.js file. And now I'm able to search for full service. And you can see there is no full service in the main JavaScript bundle. Now let's inject it into the app component. Injector full service. And let me check again. Main.js. And you see we have declaration of full service. It's interesting to know how long the bundle is. Like 490 lines. Let's remove full service. And now it's 466 lines. Of course, it's not minified. And in console, we can find full service. That means everything worked correctly. And let's use title property from the service in the component. And you see, hello, full service. The providedIn root approach works identically in both older and newer Angular versions. So there is no sense to repeat this exercise in old application. Let's generate another service for this lesson. As I said, it would be bar service. Now I want to check what will happen if I leave Injectable empty. I'm going to put console log into the constructor as well as we did for full service. Based on our understanding, Angular should throw an error. So let's try inject bar service into app component. So that's all, let's check. As expected, we get the error. This is one of the most common mistakes for beginners with Angular. You see error, null injector error. And we see that bar service is not provided. So it cannot be injected at app component TS. Let's now provide it manually. In the main TS, it's the entry point of the Angular application. You can see Bootstrap application. It's a function where the first parameter is app component, and the second parameter is AppConfig. The app component acts as a root component. It's like beginner of virtual DOM. And AppConfig is a root configuration for the application. You can see it's located at AppConfig in a separate file. And config includes a providers array where we can register services. We only need to extend this array with bar service. Let's check it. And I see the bar service in the console and application works fine. Would it be an error to provide full service at the same place? No, it's not an issue, it's fine. You can see everything works. Angular will use the application configuration instead of the one in the decorator. Both approaches are functionally identical. There are other ways to provide a service, but I will cover those in future lessons. Let's now check the second application that uses module-based architecture. In this application, we have AppModule. NG module Decorator has providers configuration. Also, you can see bootstrap array with app component. The configuration is similar, but the syntax is different. I need to generate bar service. I made the similar service in our module-based application. In AppModule, I'm going to add bar service here. At providers array. Let's first confirm that it was added to the bundle. And after that, we can inject it. To switch between applications, I have it started on 4300 port. You see now console log messages. But it's presented in main.js bundle. Because we added it to the providers array, Angular assumes it's needed and keep it in main.js. Imagine you have 100 services, but only 2 are used on the login page. Why all 100 services should be loaded? Now let's inject bar service. And now I see it in console. Let's back to our previous application. When a service is provided in root, Angular creates a single instance for the entire application. That means the service behaves like a singleton. So you should be careful about maintaining state inside it. I recommend keeping services stateless or sharing only global app state. For example, user profiles or application configuration are good candidates for sharing state. Never store specific state in a singleton, like data tied to a specific URL, which can change during navigation. If you need per context state, you need to provide the service differently. I will cover that later in this playlist. Let's summarize this lesson. Each service should use the injectable decorator, so it can inject dependencies or be injected. A service can be provided in an application configuration or application module. But that approach is not recommended. The recommended way is self-provided services. Use the injectable decorator with provided in root. This allows Angular to tree-shake unused services from the bundle, which helps reduce the bundle size. It also works the same for both old and new Angular version, making migration easy. The provided services will be singletons, so if possible, keep them stateless, or share only global state such as user configuration, auth info, or profile data. Thank you for watching this playlist. I hope to see you in the next video. See you soon. Bye now.